on what's going on. Whoop. Okay, so here we go. We are going to start working on our value scale silhouette project. So just like all of the other projects that we have done, I have a set of instructions that will be posted on Google Classroom for you. And here they are. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Oh boy, we don't want the volume. Okay, so eventually this is what you guys are going to see on Classroom. I haven't posted it for you yet, but I will do that today so that you can have it for your reference. We're going to do something very similar to what we did yesterday, like I said, except this time it's going to be larger. And we're going to do a couple different things here to kind of tell a story with our value scale. So I would like for you to be thinking about what kind of mood you would like to set with your artwork. Maybe choose a color based on what kind of mood or emotional response you would like to evoke from the viewer, or maybe what you'd like to communicate from yourself to the viewer through the colors that you're choosing. But you're also going to have the option, and I'm just going to scroll down here and show you some of these that have been done in the past. You have the option to set up your value scale in a different way. Okay, so yesterday when we started our value scale, we made a line in the middle with our color. We did our tinting on one side, we did our shading on the other, and we called it a day. You don't have to keep it that basic if you don't want to. So here are a couple things that you could do. Okay, this first one, for example, is kind of a scene from Peter Pan. We have Peter and Wendy, Michael, John, and Tinkerbell flying through the night sky. We see the silhouette of the city and the clock tower there, but they've used their value scale to kind of help tell the story. They've set it up in a way that it makes it look like the moon is off in the sky in the distance in that top right corner, and then as the darker values move to the left, it kind of creates the illusion that it's nighttime and that moon is right up there in the sky. So you have that option to set your value scale up that way. How do you think it would have been different if they chose maybe, let's say they chose pink as their color in the background? How would this story be different? Joseph?
I don't know, maybe they weren't flying in the sky, maybe they were flying into something, maybe they were in an alternate universe where the sky was pink.
Okay, that could be. Landon, what were you going to say?
Maybe a sunset.
Okay, yeah, so maybe the time of day was different. It would tell a different story if it was a sunset and it was maybe like early evening. This kind of creates the illusion that it's the middle of the night, they're sneaking away from their home or from the city to fly off to Neverland, just like what happened in the actual story of Peter Pan, right? So, yeah, kind of think about those things and think about what kind of story you want to tell through your artwork, okay? So for this project, our first step is going to be to create the value scale, and then once that value scale dries, we're going to create that silhouette over the top of the value scale to really help tell a story. So kind of be thinking about that as well as we're kind of going through these examples. Okay. We all know what a silhouette is. We worked with silhouettes a little bit when we did our flying object project. So it's basically a shadow, right? So kind of keep that in mind as you're thinking about what kind of silhouette you might want to add to your value scale, okay? This green one here with the tree, kind of the same thing. They wanted to make it look like there was a moon in the background. So they created their value scale in a circular motion. Instead of just having it move from one side of the page to the other, you have this option as well. Christian, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
So will we be doing the background and then the shade, or what order will we be doing it?
So you're going to do a value scale on this large paper just like you did yesterday. Whether you want to start the same way as yesterday with the line through the middle and tint and shade going each direction, or maybe you want to do the round circular like what we see in this tree one, or like the moon idea, you're going to do the value scale on the entire sheet of paper. Then once that dries, then we're going to create the silhouette over the top of it. Okay, is that kind of what you were asking? So that excuse me, that silhouette is going to be a second layer over the top of your value scale. Okay, good question. All right. Also, one thing I want to point out about this green one here is that notice how they didn't really blend their colors together. Do any of you guys kind of prefer that look over the more blended look? Anybody like that? That's okay. If that's not your style, that's fine. But does it kind of create a different vibe, a different mood or emotion when we have it a little less blended? We can see each one of those distinct values. I kind of feel like it does. It's not quite as smooth. I kind of enjoy being able to see each one of those values. Yeah.
They do that same thing, but like inverted where the darkness is coming from the middle and going out.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you wanted to have the lighter values be on the outside and your darker values be on the inside, totally fine. This is your value scale, not mine. But the only thing you have to remember is that your silhouette needs to be over your lighter values so that we can see the silhouette. If we put the silhouette over the darker values, we're not going to be able to see it very well. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just put it up instead of right in the middle.
Okay. Yeah. You can think about the position of the silhouette when you are ready to start thinking about that. Okay. All right. Here's another example. These two little wolves on the hill there with the little tree, which I think is really fun. They also created that illusion of that moon being up in the sky. I think that one worked out really well. Yes, sir.
Also kind of looks like a galaxy.
Oh, the purple one here?
Yeah, the purple and the bright core.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what else this person could have done to make it look more like a galaxy in the background is maybe use some like white paint and do like a little splatter paint in the background over the top of that value scale. That would have kind of made it look even more like a galaxy. That would have been kind of fun too. Okay. All right. This next one. How many of you guys love Nightmare Before Christmas? I love it. So this is one of my favorite pieces that a student has created in my class, just because I love the movie so much. I can tell you that this person spent a lot of time on the silhouette of Jack and Sally there, because she printed out a picture of Jack and Sally and she used an X-Acto knife and she cut it out so meticulously, and then she set it on her value scale and traced around it and had to paint it very, very carefully. But she was willing to show up every day and devote her time to that and not mess around in class. I'm not saying you guys are going to, but she really like put her nose to the grindstone and cranked this out in a pretty timely manner, but she really had to stay focused to get this one done. One thing I want to point out, and I'm going to walk to the front of the room to show this to you. One thing I want to point out is that she did kind of a cool thing here where she did kind of like a reverse silhouette here, kind of inverted her values so that we could see the hill in both areas. Because remember what I was just saying to Joseph was, if you are going to have a lot of dark values, you need to have your silhouette over the lighter colors, because if you put it over the darker colors, we're not going to be able to see it. So she started with the white silhouette here and then kind of faded it to the black silhouette at the top so that we could see that hill in both sections of it. But she really wanted that focal point to be the characters, so she wanted to have those right over those lighter values, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. All right, and then this last one here, kind of the same thing. I just wanted to use this as an example because if you're going to create something that takes up most of your page, which that's totally fine. If that's what you want to create, that's great. You can do that reverse value scale. She could have even done like the same values that she had in the background. She could have used that for her silhouette. She could have had it fade from light red through like pink, through the reds, all the way through to black. So if she wanted to create the reverse value scale on there, she could have done that as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. If she had made the silhouette completely black on here, we would only be able to see from here up. And then we wouldn't really get the full effect of what's going on in the picture, okay? All right, so does this give you some ideas on what you might want to create for your value scale? I would say brainstorm a little bit. Think about the things that you enjoy doing. Think about what you like to do for fun. Think about like what makes you who you are. We talked a lot about this when we did our coat of arms. There's all kinds of things about you that make you a unique individual person, and kind of bring those to life through your artwork. one suggestion. Raise your hand if you play a sport that requires using a ball that is round. Soccer, baseball, softball, volleyball, basketball, tennis. What's the silhouette of a ball? It's a circle. So I am gonna limit you a little bit. I don't want a silhouette of a ball, okay? So if you wanna include something sports related, let me pull up Artsonia here, and we'll look at some other projects that have been done. Value scale silhouette. Oh, I only have 213. Oh, I love this one too. If you wanted to do something more like this, to do a value scale on both sides and create a story on both sides that kind of work together, go for it, okay? What's that? It's beautiful, isn't it? Let's see here. Oh, I love this one too. You're gonna have to turn your head to the right because it won't make my screen go.
No.
Yes. So very, very cool. I love this one too. The little Alice in Wonderland. That one looks great. This one I thought was really cool. We started this project last school year with one of my classes right around the time that Kobe passed away. So this was kind of a cool tribute to him that I thought was awesome. And I love how we get to see the detail on the net here. Yes, Joseph?
So, this is a completely unrelated question.
Uh-huh.
Puss in Boots, whenever he has his horse go, do you think he stabs the horse to make it go? Or what? It kind of looks like he does.
I don't know.
It kinda looks like he's like,
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that, Joseph. Okay, here's one thing that I want to bring this up. Okay. I would love it if we don't just have floating animals in the middle of our silhouette, or in the middle of our value scale, okay? Let's try to tell a story with our artwork and not just have a silhouette floating in the middle. The Alice in Wonderland one, that kind of worked because that's kind of what is happening in the story. She's falling. So that one kind of worked. But I feel, oh, I love this one too. That's pretty cool. This person would be in the air, right, when they did that on the skateboard. That looked pretty cool. So let's try to really tell a story with the word. Yes?
I think for that animal one, the darker part of the value scale
Uh-huh.
was supposed to be like the ground.
I think it was, but I would have preferred, let me find it again, this one? Yep, I would have preferred if maybe they made some kind of outline, like maybe just took their black paint and maybe made an outline of a hill of something, or maybe a line straight across here, because we can still see the values changing, at least I can on my screen here. It's not like a solid ground that it's standing on. So if you create a horizon line or something, that totally takes care of that problem. So yeah, if you wanted to do something like that, that's fine. Oh, I love this one too. And this person did create, they left the bottom just solid black, made their little hill with the wolf howling at the moon. I thought that one turned out great as well. Let's see if I can find, oh, I love this one too. You're gonna have to kind of turn your head to the right. So we got Santa's little sleigh flying across the moon. We've got little hills down here, little snow hills, and then of course they did the splatter painting to create the illusion that it's snowing. So I thought that one turned out really nice as well. Okay, here's something I don't love. So remember I said the silhouette of a ball is just a circle, right? And then they added the stitching here. I just kind of feel like, I mean, we can tell what it is, but it's not super interesting, right? It's not telling us really a story at all. I would prefer that we just use black for the silhouette, black or, white, if we're doing like an inverted silhouette. I just kind of feel like the red takes away from this. Does anybody else agree with me?
That's my silhouette.
Yeah, it's not a silhouette. This one turned out cool, bubbles. That one turned out pretty neat. So yeah, I wanted you to see a good variety of different work that people have done. I feel like there was some people uploaded the wrong project to that. Oh, this one's really cool. Okay, so here's one thing this is my kid. This is one that my kid made last year. She probably should have done the little inverted value scale on that and done the feet in white or these other values that she has up here, these lighter ones. She should have done that so we could see it better. But if you're gonna choose something that relates to a sport that involves a ball, we can still tell that this is volleyball related because we have the ball there. So maybe do something more like this instead of just trying to create the ball from that sport. Okay? Yes, Joseph.
In the back.
Back. What?
Back into the main thing with all the pictures. I saw something that I recognized.
What? This?
The one with the to the very right, 2 down. The one up, 2 down. That one.
This one?
No, that one. Yes.
Yeah?
I remember that one. This one. Oh.
Yeah? They just did their silhouette with white instead of black. Which is one? Oh, is that? It is! Yeah, that's your sister's work. Beautifully done. She always did a very nice job. So yeah, if you turn your head to the right, you can see it a little bit better. What's that? On Mars? Yeah, because the color scheme that she chose. Okay. So I think that's enough examples of student work. I'm going to go back to those instructions real quick. So let's just briefly talk about the instructions step by step, okay? And then I'm going to let you get to work and I'm going to leave you alone. Okay, so you know that you need the 9x12 paper. You're going to need your medium paintbrush, which you got yesterday. You need the black paint and the white paint, and you need one color to tint or shade. Unless you want to do that kind of split thing where you do one value scale on one side and another on the other side, that's totally fine too. You need your water, paper towel, same things that you needed yesterday, okay? All right, so instructions. Step 1, using a pencil, write your name on the back of your paper. Please always do that, step 1, okay? Step 2, create a value scale by tinting and shading your chosen color. Fill the entire space with that color. Please do not leave empty edges. Yes, ma'am.
So, you know how we chose like a color to do for practice?
Uh-huh.
Are we allowed to choose a different color?
You can choose whatever color you want. Totally up to you. Yeah, that was just practice yesterday to get the hang of it. Today, whole new ball game. Okay? Yes, sir.
I need to know how big my middle thing is because I'm going to do something with in the middle and it goes out.
Okay.
So how am I going to measure that with the silhouette to make sure that they fit in?
You're going to adjust your silhouette to the size of your value scale. Okay? Okay. Fill the entire space with color from darkest to lightest values. We already looked at examples. Then we're going to let the value scale dry. Don't even, you can be thinking about your silhouette today, but we're not gonna do anything with the silhouette today as far as painting it on or drawing it on. We're only doing the value scale today, okay? So you're gonna fill the entire space with the value scale. On Monday, when you come to class, that's when we're gonna spend some time designing the silhouette and getting that on, okay? Using black paint, fill in the silhouette completely, put it on the drying rack. This should say upload to Google Classroom because we're not using Arsonia. Complete the exit ticket. This project is short, sweet, to the point, nothing crazy. Yes?
So yesterday when we did our little strips, we start with the regular color.
Yep.
And then with this one, we start with white and the regular color.
It depends on what kind of value scale you want to do. So if it were me, and let's say I'm doing the kind where I want it, actually I'll just do this. Let's say I'm doing this one here, okay? And I want those values to go like lighter to darker. This right here was probably their original color, this green right here. So they probably started with their big circle with the original color, and then they tinted going into the middle, and they shaded going out to the outside. So you're gonna kind of figure out what shape you want to create. This person here, they didn't do any shading really. They started with their original color here, and they just tinted up here, and that's okay too. I'm okay with that. This person, they started with their circle with the original color. They tinted going in and they shaded going out. Okay? So you're gonna just kind of set it up whichever way you want to. And if you mess up the first time, put it in the recycle bin and start over. It's okay. It's okay for you to make a mistake and figure it out as you go. If you try something and it doesn't work, just start over again. No big deal. Yes, sir.
Do we put the silhouette first or do we start painting?
Start painting first.
Check it out. Step-by-step instructions. Step 1, put your name on your paper. Step 2, create a value scale. Okay? We're not even gonna worry about the silhouette until Monday. Okay? So just the value scale today. Alright, we don't have a ton of time. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get started. You know where the paint is. You know where the brushes are. The paper is on the back counter. Or the demo table, not back counter. I'm gonna assume you guys are gonna need more white paint in your cups. So I'm gonna get the white paint pumped down and you can just refill as needed, okay? I'll get the glass can of paint down for you. That's okay. I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna set the black and the white paint on the edge of the counter here. If you guys need more, or if you need another color, let me know. We can get more colors out. Okay? All right. So hey, if you guys want to go ahead and start working, I will take all these down and try to get them organized for you. That way you don't have to spend your time doing that. What's up? I'll find them and I'll start passing them out, okay? Okay, I'll get you some. Whoops. Oh, okay. What's up, Chica?
Oh, I got you. That would be.
Okay. Well, so let's see, sunset. I
Because like it's like it's gonna be all. That's all.
It's okay, if you mess up, you just get a new one. No worries. We love
It's not that they were, you gotta be hopeful, or it's like with our little risk.
Never dive on your back.
Anything you're good for, never mind, that's way.
Yes, ma'am. You can't what?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
30,
shade?
40. Jason, you want to present
You haven't
today?
tried yet. Try it, hey, don't be scared, if you try it and it doesn't work
They
out,
barely have enough players for.
we start over, we try something else maybe.
Honestly,
Load it up,
honestly,
you're gonna reel like a whole bunch. Load it on up, don't be scared.
I told you orange was cool. I never said that. Crack.
We have
Alright, I'm coming, Josie. Yes. Uh-huh. Okay, so what is it that you wanna do? Okay, so you're wanting a circle? You want it to come to the middle of the circle with the black? Okay, so if you want the silhouette to be in the circle, then your circle needs to be white. Or are you gonna do your silhouette in white?
There's like 3 C's.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, so I would say with your original color, make a big circle. Just like we did yesterday, and I'll be right back. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, if you need to start over, that's okay. I would say just stick it in the recycle bin. Oh, you can do that. Yeah, that'd be okay. Yep, I'm okay with that. You could even, instead of tinting with your white, you would even tint with the yellow, so it could make from orange to yellow. If you wanted to do that, that would be fine. I'm okay with that. Cause you're still adding a lighter color to make it lighter. Kaylee, you can do that too if you want. If you wanna have your values just fade into each other, totally fine. Yeah, you can go from yellow to orange to red if you want. I'm okay with that.
I'm trying to make it look like a sunset.
So you do the exact same thing, except instead of dipping in the white, you're gonna go from, like, if you started with yellow, you'd load up your yellow and start painting, and then gradually dip in the orange. And then once you get closer to orange, then you start gradually dipping in the red, so it's just gonna fade from that lighter value to the darker value. Yeah, you're welcome to do that. Play around with it and see if you like how it looks, and if you don't, then
I wanna make this look like a sunset, cause I have orange on one.
well, it just kinda depends on how you position your silhouette. So,
Probably like for football player, probably won't be like
okay, and we want it to be a sunset, so we would have,
well, I mean, he's gonna be like in the air.
okay. So we're gonna want our lighter values at the bottom and our darker values at the top to make it look like a sunset. So the sun is coming down below the horizon. So yeah, I would say, do you want to do this one?
Yeah.
This one? So I would say just start with your regular color here. You're gonna do your shading, or your tinting, your shading. So add lightly though, Kaylee, just so that we can make sure we cover it. With the paint. Is that what you had in mind? Yeah, great. Okay.
And then get like pure black. And then
For the middle here?
Yeah, do a bit of highlight.
Okay.
A bit more black.
Sounds good. That looks beautiful. Very nice.
That joke's never gonna get old.
Okay. You guys are awesome. Okay, I'm gonna start taking your practice value scales off of the drawing rack for you. Yes, ma'am. A moon in the middle? Okay.
Is this the Indianapolis Zoo?
So what do you think?
Where's my train home?
Okay, so your lighter value is gonna be in the moon? Okay.
It's all work for you.
You wouldn't necessarily have to. So if it were me, I would start with my original like color, and I would draw a circle, the outline of the circle, okay? And then if I wanted the lighter values to be in the middle, I would add white as I'm working toward the center. So make your circle, and then add white as you go to the middle, and then you can go back to your original color and add black as you're working out. Does that make sense? Yeah, give it a try.
I'm gonna train. I'm gonna get this time.
You don't have to. If that's how you want it to look, that's fine.
So that's what you
I'll give you some creative freedom with this one, as long as we're just playing around with the values. That works for me.
Easier than
There we go, that's pretty nice. Okay, you guys. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that we know of as well. How would you not know what you've done? Well, you know you.
Yeah, so you just wanna switch away from this turquoise and use a different color altogether for the shading?
Yeah, you're obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, as long as we're playing around with adding black and white to create those different values, that's really kind of the point of the whole project, so, yeah. Sounds good. Hang on just a second, Joseph, I gotta hold Zach real quick. I love it, what do you think? I do too, I like that. Yep. Yep, so I would do the same thing that you did with this, start with your orange, and then instead of adding black, you're gonna add the red as you fade away. Well, I think since you're not gonna use the black for the shading portion of it, your silhouette is gonna be really noticeable with the red, so I think it's fine the way that you have it. Looking good. Make sure we don't have any spots all the way off of the page there. Ooh, that looks good, Kaylee. That's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna get these practice value scales off of the rack for you.
Trey skipping out the door. I'm telling you, that's how you rule out any man, anybody. Great juice. I don't know.
stuff too.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Did you see Mr. Anderson
Yeah.
as well? Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sorry, I'm getting ready to hit this weather.
You're awesome. I appreciate it.
See ya.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna start passing out the practice ones. And these are just for fun, so you can just take these ones.
Hey, skipping, yeah, you can't fail if you're not there to take it.
Exactly.
Man, I'm a smart guy.
That's nominate.
Yeah.
I can't talk to Snapchat while people want that. You
Student must be funny.
Ooh, that looks, I love those colors together. Very nice.
I graduated like a ninth grader.
For your reason, be the people. Trademarks, the zoo owner, leads this country out.
Silence that phone.
Yet again, you will not be.
I will not be contained.
Really light on
No
there.
kindness contained.
I dropped the rest of
Within state
Okay,
borders.
just go get a paper towel and wipe it
That
out.
was not
No
offensive, I
worries.
said your time was contained within state borders.
Like my time.
Yes,
Everyone in the country.
You know, like I did black.
And that one, not like it.
Yeah, well, we're not doing it.
Okay, or you can
Yeah, you
get
got
some
it.
more orange and kind of line it back the other way, just to kind of make it fade a little more gradually. It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to start adding black, that's fine. Okay. All right, guys, that's 7 minutes. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, 7 minutes, friends. So, I'm gonna say, get yourself to a stopping point. The drying rack is now empty. I'm passing back your practice value scales from yesterday. At this point, you should know the drill. You're gonna rinse your brush, you're gonna put lids on your paint cups, and you're gonna pack up all of your materials to put in the closet. Raise your hand if you forgot to put your name on the back of your value scale today. Yeah, I should have reminded you. I know we were excited to jump right in and get started on this.
Do it right after.
So, I'm gonna say go ahead and stop where you are then. If you have one side that's maybe not painted on yet, like one half of your paper, maybe just lift up a corner and put your name on the back carefully with a pencil. If you would like to very lightly write it on the front, that would be okay, and then maybe you could erase it tomorrow and paint over it. Just write it very lightly. And we need to start getting these on the drying rack. Instead of getting a dry paper towel from the dispenser today, grab one of the paper towels that's on the counter by the drying rack. They're the ones that we had our practices on yesterday. But we can use those to wipe our desks today, and that way we aren't wasting more paper towels. Does that sound good? So just grab one or two from back there, and I'm going to continue to pass these out while you are cleaning up. So let's go ahead and start the process. We'll jump right back in tomorrow. Yes, ma'am? Oh, yes, I have one for you with your name on it. Okay, yep. So, Christian, I'm going to give you a Sharpie. If you'll write your name on your new one, and Braylon, I already have your name on yours. So there's that.
I didn't say lose.
All right, please stop what you're doing and start the cleanup process so that we can be out of here when it's time. Your base is X, right? So give us yours. Ooh, are we out? I'm cleaning that ball right there. You may have to just love it. That's gonna look awesome. So your silhouette is gonna be white in here.
Bad for you.
Okay.
Carla's not bad.
Okay. Very nice. And here's a Sharpie. Oh, the paper towel got stuck to it a little bit. Sorry.
Where you got the leaders of grape juice, Tony?
What?
You got the grape juice?
Calling her.
You wanna move my hole? Right. Smaller than you, kid. I know I'm not. But I'm a hacker. That's all that matters.
All right, hey, if you did not get a practice value scale back from yesterday, these are either no names or names I couldn't read. So if you want to come find them from the back table here. Oh, yep, I must have just not seen your name in there. Not bad.
Oh,
Okay, and I'm coming around with the spray bottle.
no, I accidentally hit my finger in my paint.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry.
And my finger was
All right, guys, I'm
dying.
coming around with the spray bottle. We have 2 minutes till we walk out the door, so let's make sure we have our desks
Dude, I'm
here.
going orange. I'm orange man.
Yes.
I'm just bleeding orange. Better, you